Good morning, everyone. We're actually waiting for a final. There may be a change from Mantriji's office, so we're just waiting for the next 5 minutes for more clarity to evolve, and we'll start the program accordingly, session one or session two. So just bear with us for the next 5 minutes, please. Thank you. So just to share that there is a change from Mantriji's office regarding the time. He'll be here in another 10 minutes. He's expected to be here. So we'll have the second session first and the scientific session will follow. So just wanted to share that with you. So I think we'll wait for another 10 minutes for him to come and then we can start with the session. Yes, sure. So, very good morning once again. Our chief guest for today's program, Honorable Minister, has arrived at the venue and will be with us very shortly. So, may I request all the members to please put their phones on silent mode and settle down, please. Good morning, sir. On behalf of the Department of Biotechnology, I extend a warm welcome to our chief guest, Honorable Minister of State, Independent Charge, Science and Technology, Minister of State, Prime Minister's Office, Personal, Public Grievances and Pensions, Department of Atomic Energy, and Department of Space, Dr. Jitendra Singh Ji, in the program organized for disseminating learnings and outcomes of GARBH-INi, a DBT India initiative. I humbly request the presence of Honorable Minister, sir, to please join on the dais, please. I also request So I request Honorable Minister to please join us on the dais. I also request Secretary DBT, DG Brick, and Chairman Bairak to join us on the dais, please. I request Dr. Kanesan Karthikeyan, Executive Director, Brick THSTI, to join us on the dais, please. Thank you, sir. I now request Dr. Anamika Gambhir, Advisor, Department of Biotechnology, to present a gesture of welcome to Honorable Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh Ji. Thank you, ma'am. I now request ma'am to please welcome our secretary, Dr. Rajesh S. Gokhale, with the potted plant. I once again request ma'am to please present a welcome token to Executive Director THSTI, Dr. Karthikeyan, please. I now request Dr. Anamika Gambhir, Advisor, Department of Biotechnology, for her welcome address.
Very good morning to all. Honorable Minister of State, Independent Charge, Ministry of Science and Technology, Ministry of Earth Sciences, Minister of State for PMO, Ministry of Personal, Public Grievance and Pensions, Department of Atomic Energy and Department of Space, Government of India, Dr. Jiten Singh Ji, Secretary DBT, DG BRIC and Chairman BIRAC, Dr. Rajesh S. Gokhale, Dr. Karthikeyan, Director BRIC THSTI, Dr. Shinjini, Coordinator GARBH-INi XT in THSTI, distinguished guests, members of the GARBH-INi team, and my dear colleagues. It's a privilege to extend a very warm welcome to all of you on behalf of Department of Biotechnology. Honorable Minister, sir, your visionary leadership and steadfast support have been a beacon for us as we strive to apply science and technology-based solutions to tackle our country's unmet health needs. As we all know, women and children are the linchpins of success and prosperity of any society, and therefore, to address their unique challenges, the department initiated a dedicated program way back in 2011 under the leadership of late Secretary and visionary Dr. M.K. Bhan. Over the years, we have supported programs focused on maternal and child health research across the entire spectrum, from MENARC to menopause for women, and from the earliest stages of life through adolescence for our children. Of the several programs that we've initiated, one of our flagships, and if I may say the most enduring initiatives, has been GARBH-INi. This interdisciplinary group was built to create a comprehensive longitudinal pregnancy cohort, which enrolled about 12,000 pregnant women and recorded the outcomes over a period of time. By integrating rigorous clinical phenotyping and advanced analytical platforms, we are finally generating context-specific insights that India needs to improve birth outcomes. Having been associated with the program since the very beginning, it is immensely satisfying to see it evolve from a neonate to adolescent, as I myself grew older. The program is yet to attain, I would say, adulthood, but it gives us immense satisfaction to see that, it has evolved into one of the most successful research endeavors in the country. But as with any ambitious initiative, the journey has had its hiccups, from the initial stakeholder deliberations to convincing the finance of our unique requirements based on the nature of the program. So whether it was establishing a high-end facility for ultrasound to requirement of round-the-clock clinical staff and the adoption of electronic devices for comprehensive data capture, it was all a very first time in 2012 or 2013 for our department. So rightly so, it was an uphill climb for us. So during the course, we saw multiple challenges as we navigated the shifting of entire hospital departments, evolving manpower needs, and changes in administrative oversight. And now, as I look back, that journey was overwhelming as it was enriching. Today, the GARBH-INi cohort is one of the biggest and most deeply characterized pregnancy cohorts of the South Asian region. A rich biorepository of over 1 million biospecimen and high-quality serially collected ultrasound images at least 3 different time points in pregnancy make it a goldmine of resources to answer questions around pregnancy complications in the times to come. Through multidimensional data collection in the program, we have strengthened our understanding of the biological, genetic, and microbiome determinants of maternal health. Our focus has been very clear: early risk identification and biomarker discovery to reduce the burden of pregnancy complications, particularly preterm birth, which is a leading cause of neonatal death, not only in India, but globally. I firmly believe that continued momentum of GARBH-INi will advance our national priorities in maternal and child health arena. Honorable Minister, sir, we thank you once again for your continued support, and to each of the dignitaries here for having spared their time, and to the PIs and clinicians and the entire team GARBH-INi led by Dr. Shinjini Bhatnagar, who worked relentlessly towards the pursuit of identified goals through this program. Once again, a very warm welcome to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. May I now invite Dr. Shinjini and Team GARBH-INi to present an overview of the GARBH-INi program and its outcomes.
Good afternoon. It's an absolute honor to present the learnings of GARBH-INi to the Honorable Minister for Science and Technology, Dr. Jiten Singh, Secretary DBT, Dr. Rajesh Gokhale, and to this very distinguished audience. At the outset, on behalf of GARBH-INi, I'd like to express our most sincere thanks to DBT senior leadership and the nodal program officers for having this trust and support, this trust in us and giving us this support over all these years. The mandate of GARBH-INi has been to combine deep epidemiological insights, clinical expertise with advanced modern science and biotechnology to develop innovative and sustainable solutions for better birth outcomes. The learnings on this journey have been meaningful and significant. We learned very early that true innovations are driven by the societal need. This is further strengthened by very deep, bold, risk-taking discussions which are multidisciplinary and have no silos thinking. And that's what was the strength of this cohort. The unwavered support that we got from the district hospital, the trust of our study participants, and the dedication of the multidisciplinary and the multi-institutional teams helped us to overcome whatever challenges that there were and make them manageable. Above all, I think what it reaffirmed the strength, that the confidence that Indian researchers have the capability to harness modern biotechnology to deliver tools for public good. And that's been a very, very important learning for us. So today, as Dr. Gambhir said, we have one of the largest pregnancy and birth cohorts of over 12,000 women, almost 3,000 children, very well characterized. Leveraging this very data, and this is to identify women at risk to prevent adverse pregnancy outcomes. Leveraging this rich data set, which resides in GARBH-INi Drishti at THSTI, we've been able to develop AI-driven imaging tools, multi-omics biomarkers, and dynamic prediction models to identify these high-risk women for preventing adverse pregnancy outcomes. Most of these innovations are in different stages of translation. So while our commitment to continue the story, we'll be presenting to you a few of them that are at or near clinical deployment. We'll request the team to now come and present these innovations and tools.
One important outcome of the broad GARBH-INi ecosystem is GARBH-INi Drishti, the DBT data repository and information sharing hub at THSTI. It is a digital platform created to advance maternal and child health research. In translational science, generating data is only the first step. To create value, data must also be organized, accessible, and shared through systems that support responsible use. Drishti was developed to address exactly this gap. It is an interactive, user-friendly platform that streamlines data accessibility, powers data-driven research, and advances maternal and child health. Importantly, the platform provides access to de-identified data that is FAIR compliant, ethically approved, and responsibly governed. This enables exploration of depth and diversity of well-curated data sets while maintaining data integrity and participant privacy. Through this platform, multidimensional GARBH-INi data can be shared in a structured manner, enabling collaborations.
In addition, this national bioresource platform has a systematically organized, robust repository of biological samples with its associated data, archived in the first NABL DBT-supported accredited biorepository ISO 20387. Such a platform with its fair access policies will enable researchers and clinicians to study disease patterns, identify early biomarkers, and develop targeted interventions for precision medicine and treatment. From a technology transfer perspective, Drishti is not just a repository. It is a research-enabling digital public health tool that allows data assets generated within the program to become reusable scientific resources for new analysis, collaborations, and innovation. We envisage that beyond maternal and child health, the National Bioresource Platform can evolve into a cornerstone of our broader healthcare ecosystem.
So one of the important component of this GARBH-INi project was to understand the reproductive tract of the Indian women and their contribution to the birth outcome. So we work on the human microbiome, and from this knowledge, what we developed two indigenous genetically defined microbial consortia, which has the therapeutic potency. We started with understanding the microbiome compositions in the pregnant women who delivered term and preterms. We identified the bacteria that reduced the risk of preterm birth. Then we did the preclinical study to validate, and now we have produced those microbes in the small scale, take their viability, and ultimately we transferred this product to an industry. So they are here. So the one technology that based on the Lactobacillus crispus, and the second technology that also we developed, that is Lactobacillus paragaceae. So this is the first indigenous genetically defined microbial consortia from the India will reach the market.
Identification of high-risk pregnancy is an important determinant of healthy birth outcome, which unfortunately is unavailable in many resource-limited settings. On behalf of GARBH-INi, it's a great pleasure to share an innovative solution, the GARBH-INi Anandima Pregnancy Risk Stratification Platform. It's an AI-driven digital system designed to identify high-risk pregnancies early and guide optimum antenatal care. At the heart of this platform is an AI-driven dynamic risk stratification model trained on data from 12,000 pregnant women enrolled in GARBH-INi research program. This model is being externally validated across multiple independent research data sets and in order to ensure robustness and generalizability. GARBH-INi model is now integrated into Anandima, a comprehensive digital antenatal care platform by CareMother, Doto Health Private Limited. This integration enables prospective validation and real-world deployment at scale. The clinical application is straightforward and impactful. GARBH-INi Anandima solution enables early identification of high-risk pregnancy and prevents adverse pregnancy outcomes. This system is packaged as a compact, portable, AI-enabled pregnancy care kit consisting of GARBH-INi risk prediction model, portable biomedical monitoring devices, which makes deployment feasible across primary healthcare centers. This innovation is a true public-private partnership co-developed with Doto Health Private Care Limited, our industry partner. More importantly, it exemplifies how technology can translate evidence into actionable health intervention. Thank you.
Accurate fetal gestational age assessment is fundamental to prenatal care. It guides management decisions, predicts delivery timing. However, conventional ultrasound-based methods rely heavily on operator expertise and are often calibrated towards Western populations. Today, I want to share how we are aiming to solve this through artificial intelligence. We have developed two AI-driven models for precise fetal gestational age assessment. GARBH-INi GA2, developed in collaboration with IIT Madras, and GAGE, GARBH-INi ultrasound image-based gestational age estimation model, developed by data science team at THSTI. Both derived from rigorous analysis of the GARBH-INi cohort program. These models are currently undergoing external validation in multiple cohorts across the country. The clinical benefits are substantial. First is accuracy. Our AI models achieve over 50% improvements in fetal age assessment compared to Western reference standards. While GA2 offers accurate population-specific estimation for Indian pregnancies, GAGE, our image-based model, takes this a step further. It enhances accessibility by reducing skill and time requirements, and most importantly, it predicts gestational age irrespective of fetal size. This enables 25% better detection of fetal growth restriction. This represents a major clinical advance, positioning GAGE as model of choice, particularly for third trimester assessments, not only for India, but also for globally. Rather than creating a standalone tool to deploy these models, we have integrated these models into a machine-agnostic ultrasound reporting software, which fits right into the sonologist's workflow. The system is intuitive. The user just needs to upload the ultrasound image, select the measurement plane, and AI automatically gives the precise estimation of gestational age. Even less trained operators can produce reliable standardized reports. What makes this particularly scalable is the plugin architecture that we are developing. As we develop and validate new AI models for ultrasound, they can be easily integrated in this software without rebuilding the entire system again. This innovation is a true collaborative effort. Our industry partners, Cure AI Technologies and Care Mother Doto Health, together they bring AI expertise and deployment capability. It exemplifies how AI can democratize precision diagnostics in maternal and child health. Thank you.
Thank you, Team GARBH-INi. We are confident that the project will maintain its momentum and deliver impactful real-world applications. I now request Dr. Ganeshan Karthikeyan, Executive Director, BRIC THSTI, for his kind address.
Honorable Minister, Dr. Jitendra Singh, Secretary Dr. Rajesh Gokhale. It gives me great pleasure to showcase the work of our researchers at THSTI. I'll be very brief. I just want to mention that there have been several models of research that have been funded in this country. I think the way, because most questions are complex, and the way research has to be funded is exemplified by GARBH-INi. The big question that they asked was very, very relevant to the Indian context. What are the predictors of preterm birth or adverse pregnancy outcomes? That's a very, very big question. I think centered around this question, they brought together clinicians, basic scientists, all sorts of immunologists, epidemiologists, everybody else came together. Then we had engineers. I mean, we also got industry on board. And you can see the results of that. We have developed tools. We have developed tools which can be deployed at scale. And we have, I'm sure whatever comes out of GARBH-INi will improve pregnancy outcomes in this country. I think this is the model of research that has to be followed, and kudos to DBT for having seen this through till this. And I'm happy to say that at THSTI, we are developing several such flagship programs as well. One focused on cardiovascular disease, one focused on liver health. So these will also probably go along the same lines as GARBH-INi, and maybe in 4 or 5 years, you will see the results of them as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. May I now invite Dr. Rajesh S. Gokhale, Secretary DBT, DG BRIC, and Chairman BIRAC for his address.
Namaskar and a very good afternoon to all of you. Honorable Minister for Science and Technology, Dr. Jitendra Singh ji, BRIC THSCI Director, Dr. Karthikeyan, the most distinguished audience, several friends and colleagues of mine from departments, various All India Institute of Medical Sciences, past THSCI Director, and colleagues. I think it's such a pleasure to be present here today. To be very frank, I was just sitting and remembering the day when Dr. Bhan launched this program. And I was one of the member of the committee actually when being a young researcher at that time, Dr. Bhan wanted me to look at the scientific perspective of how this program would develop. And it's amazing to see the journey right now, actually. I mean, I don't think it was envisaged like this. It has evolved, it has been developed, and it has been through the careful tinkering of various members and being able to try and do this. I mean, this was really a mother and child program. It eventually got developed into a preterm birth program cohort and various other activities. And I think some fantastic achievements have come out of this, really, has been highlighted just now. I mean, I thought it was underplayed a little bit. One could have a little bit demonstrated the capabilities of how fantastic achievements are done. It's non-trivial problem to really put together 12,000 women from the 3rd month or 3rd to 6 months of their pregnancy to put them into a cohort. I think this is an amazing journey. I mean, I personally believe that this is an amazing journey of what DBT has funded. And in fact, as Dr. Karthikeyan rightly said, DBT should emulate many more such programs which can continue to fund for longer periods of time. Because all complex problems requires really detailed analysis, scientific inputs, clinical cohort building, and then followed up by another round of analysis of other kinds, actually. I don't think longitudinal pregnancy cohort that's been leadership shown by BRIC THSTI along with other institutions actually however would have happened without without amazing capabilities that have been put together by the PIs themselves actually. And I would like to thank all the PIs and congratulate each one of you who are engaged in this activity, I think led by Dr. Shinjini Bhatnagar. And I think now by, I slipped the name, huh? By Dr. Nitya, actually. And, sorry to forget the names, but I think these days it's becoming harder and harder to do. But I think one of the key aspects of this is that there is a high burden of preterm birth, low birth weight, and maternal neonatal complications in our country. And certainly the outcomes of this program will go a long way to help and improve the clinical care of these kind of children who will be born and mothers who will be taking care of this. I think one of the also key perspective that is for the first time, in my opinion, that has happened is the omics data integration across various samples. And I don't think we have ever done this large scale of genomics, epigenomics, proteomics, and metabolomics on the samples ever before to be able to, analyze and to be able to put together in such a systematic way. It's not only the longitudinal cohort, but there are serial samples also have been collected and has been analyzed. So I think this is in a way unique for our own country's perspective to put together such a fantastic stuff it is. This phenotyping pregnancy cohort, along with the biobank, which is shown, as well as the longitudinal data sets and predictive models, make this an amazing story to really celebrate upon. I personally believe that the scale of this activity is also quite remarkable. I mean, I'm not one of those who have worked in this area for a long time, but I think it will be one of the top cohort in the world if we cannot undermine our own achievements actually. And I personally believe it's one of the strongest serial biological sampling that has happened. Of course, there are Birmingham cohorts and others that have been going on for years in international scenarios, but those are kind of different kinds actually. For the pregnancy cohort to follow, I think this has been an amazing actually. So I hope such programs will bring out the best of people in future to come. And I personally again thank Honorable Minister for his support. I think whenever I ask his time for even during Parliament session, he is very eager to come and be part of these kind of activities. And I think DBT, all the other secretaries says DBT gets favoritism of its kinds, I think. So thank you very much for that. But I personally believe, being a clinician, he has tremendous understanding of this ecosystem as well, actually, right now. And his support has been unbelievably amazing for us to achieve some of these absolute targets. And I hope his favoritism continues to back DBT. And I thank you again, all of you, for being over here. But I think this is a remarkable journey, and we should really celebrate this through various successful initiatives like this, which can, provide confidence to other youngsters to take up to these challenging programs. I think there's not just one program. We have a lot of other complex problems to look at. But I think younger people first should understand that to work with these complex programs, you need to build teams, you need to put in energy, and you need to get systems to run from a longer period of time by getting fundings from variety of sources. So, for example, the funding has not just come from DBT, but Grand Challenges have also funded several part of an activity. There are other people who have also provided funds from other sources as well, actually. So I think this really requires an amazing coordination. And the teamwork that has done is outstanding. And I congratulate each one of you and THSTI for this outstanding leadership. Thank you again, all of you.
Thank you, sir, for those insightful words. So next before us is a special video presentation of the GARBH-INi study, which brings to life the genesis, journey, teamwork, and accomplishments of the project. Let us together witness the insights and milestones that define this program. The video, please.
Arogyam paramam bhagyam. Swastham sarvartha sadhanam. That is, health is the ultimate wealth, and with good health, every task can be accomplished.
Human health begins even before birth, shaped by the conditions and care a mother receives during pregnancy. Yet, for many, this journey is marked by unseen risks. Every 9 seconds, a baby is born preterm, contributing significantly to global newborn mortality and long-term health challenges. Preterm birth can lead to lifelong health challenges, including poor growth, developmental delays, disabilities, and chronic disease. Recognizing that fragmented research had failed to capture the complexity of this syndrome, the Department of Biotechnology launched GARBH-INi in 2015, a collaborative initiative led by Translational Health Science and Technology Institute, Faridabad, bringing together DBT, BRIC institutes, and leading healthcare partners. The vision was simple yet powerful. By collecting serial clinical, dietary, imaging, environmental, and biological data throughout pregnancy, researchers could better understand poor outcomes and develop tools for early prediction and prevention. This first-of-its-kind program has established a pregnancy cohort at Gurugram Civil Hospital, enrolling over 12,000 women and following them through delivery and beyond. Phase 2 extends this work into early childhood growth and development research. This platform supports WHO-led global research for establishing age-norm D scores using the global scales for early development, serving as a public health tool to assess whether children are on track developmentally. A landmark GARBH-INi study in the Lancet Global Health found that nearly half of mothers delivered small, vulnerable newborns. In response, the team has developed a data-driven risk stratification tool to identify high-risk women to enable their enhanced care. Using its ultrasound image repository, GARBH-INi is building AI-powered tools, GARBH-INi, GA2 and GAGE, currently being validated across different regions of the country for accurate fetal age assessment, and developing Pragati, a portable device that flags high-risk pregnancies with a simple traffic light system. Dietary data collected in the cohort shows lower than recommended calorie intake during pregnancy, with more than 45% women showing iron, vitamin B12, and vitamin D deficiency during early pregnancy. GARBH-INi uses multi-omic studies to predict preterm birth in advance and have identified 66 genetic variants, novel protein and metabolite panels for early screening. 2 key probiotics from vaginal microbiomes that may help prevent preterm birth and other diseases are advancing with industry partners. Our placental research has discovered molecular signatures to predict preeclampsia, driving precision pregnancy care. Together, these breakthroughs exemplify Atmanirbharta in addressing India's maternal and child health challenges. More than 10 lakh unique biospecimens from over 12,000 mothers have been archived as 1.6 million aliquots at India's first NABL accredited biorepository under the ISO 20387. Genetic data from 6,000 women have been generated and deposited at the IBDC. Through the GARBH-INi Drishti data sharing platform, this biosource and imaging repository, South Asia's largest of its kind, supports researchers nationwide. GARBH-INi exemplifies convergence of scientific rigor, clinical expertise, technological innovation, and public health commitment to solve a critical problem. The fruits of GARBH-INi will be seen over the years to come. The ultimate measure of success will not be in publications or patents alone, but in fewer babies born too soon, healthier mothers, and children given the best possible start to life, an important step towards Viksit Bharat.
We also have a compendium that encapsulates the program's visions, goals, and the collaborative spirit that drives its success. May I request dignitaries on the dais to unveil the compendium? I also request Dr. Nitya Wadhwa and Dr. Rajesh Khangal to join the dignitaries on the dais, please. No, ma'am, please come. Thank you, everyone. So, ladies and gentlemen, we now move to a defining moment of the GARBH-INi journey, as well as today's proceedings, as we commence the technology transfer and LOI exchange for leads ready to advance into strategic industry partnerships. The first one is a transfer of technology for the microbiome-based therapeutics between Mr. Dinesh Arora, MD, CEO, and Dr. Varun Sureja, Senior Vice President, Sundotya Numandis Probioticals Private Limited, and Dr. Bhabatosh Das, representing GARBH-INi. we now have an exchange of letter of intents on Garbhini Anandima risk stratification platform and AI-enabled ultrasound reporting software between Dr. Kshama Kothari, Director Partnerships representing Doto Healthcare Limited, and Dr. Nitya Wadhwa and Dr. Ramachandran Tiruvengadam representing Garbhini. Thank you. Next, we have an exchange of letter of intents for the AI-enabled ultrasound reporting software between Mr. Kautak Trivedi, Senior Vice President Design, representing Cure AI Technologies Private Limited, and Dr. Bapu Kondanya Desiraju from THSTI, and Dr. Rajkumar Nagaya from IIT Madras, representing Garbhini. Right. Please join me in welcoming Dr. V.K. Paul, Member Niti Aayog. Thank you. While we acknowledge the many invaluable contributions that have made this monumental study possible, the true essence lies in its most important stakeholders, the cohort participants, whose commitment and trust form its very foundation. May I request our Honorable Minister, Dr. Jitendra Singh Ji, to kindly felicitate the representative participants. Yeah. So just to share again, the pregnancy cohort is now, which has 12,000 participants. Now these are babies which are born to those pregnant mothers and are being followed up for various outcomes. Sir, I am told there is toys for the little ones. Okay. So I think as a token of appreciation for the trust that they've shown in the study, there are some toys for the little babies and some I think some dinner sets for the mothers who've actually went all the way to being followed up in those important years. Yes, sir. Yes. Thank you, sir. So now we are joined by Dr. V.K. Paul, Member Niti Aayog, and a distinguished leader in the field of public health and medicine, who's played a pivotal role in shaping national health policies. May I humbly request him for his address, please, sir?
Namaskar, good afternoon. Honorable Minister of Science and Technology, Dr. Jitendra Singh Ji, respected Dr. Rajesh Gokhale Ji, my colleague Karthik Saab, distinguished colleagues present here in the room. Today we are celebrating a very important milestone in the journey of a path-breaking monumental study. GARBH-INi started way back, and I had the privilege and an opportunity to be associated with some parts, the technical parts of this wonderful initiative. Today is a day when we I would applaud and laud the contribution made by the scientist team at THSTI, led by Dr. Shinjini Bhatnagar, and all the partner institutions of THSTI who contributed to a world-class study, a path-breaking study that India has been able to mount. So the various aspects of the study are still unfolding. But I think the critical point now is that we use the learnings, use the tools that have emanated from the study, and use the opportunity how to take this study forward for the research questions and research ideas that continue to be relevant and need to be understood as we go along. These are the 3 action points. अभी जो बन गया है, policy implications क्या है? उसके बारे में बताइए. I have an understanding that several tools, prediction models, AI loaded algorithms are available. उसका क्या करना है? वो बताइए. और दूसरा है कि जो प्लेटफॉर्म बन गया है अभी तक, इसको आगे ले जाके the opportunity that we have to look at the outcomes and the physiology of the subjects and so on, how is that to be shaped up, which would require renewed budgeting, renewed ideas, creating the teams, and being even more aspirational than we were in the initial phase. So that's my message. I look forward to looking at the results of the study in a more deep, through a deep process. And I would invite the team to come and make a presentation, and others who are, the peer group also should be present, sir. I'll be very delighted to understand कि करना क्या है. तो उसके लिए अलग मीटिंग करेंगे और उसमें जो एमिनेंट साइंटिस्ट हमारे और हैं उनसे भी बात करेंगे, प्रोग्राम के लोगों से भी बात करेंगे कि अब इसको करने के लिए आगे क्या जाना है. But today I salute the science that this study has brought, and I salute Dr. Bhan for having guided this process at the foundational stage, which gives me goosebumps because the vision that he set to take forward a study of this complexity and this depth and scope was it by itself a great learning. So congratulations, sir. I'm honored to be here in your presence. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for those thoughtful and inspiring reflections. And we're certain that a wealth of these learnings will feed into national health policy, guiding strategies to strengthen maternal and child health across the country. I now humbly solicit our Honorable Minister, Science and Technology, Dr. Jitendra Singh Ji, to enlighten us with his address.
Our very eminent senior colleague and member of Niti Aayog, Dr. Vinod Paul, Secretary, Department of Biotechnology, Dr. Rajesh Gokhale, Dr. Karthikeyan, some eminent persons over here, Dr. Pramod, Dr. Nikhil, Dhananjay, members of the faculty, also the participants in this program. Now, before I speak anything about the GARBH-INi project, I think I must pick up from what others have been saying so far. Now, to take up from Rajesh, he said a lot of favoritism being exercised towards the Department of Biotechnology. But I think it's important to understand that over the last 1 decade, the Department of Biotechnology and also during the tenure of Rajesh and his predecessor has registered milestone after the other. There's been series of milestones which have given visibility not only to the Department of Biotechnology, but have done the government of India proud. And for that, yes, you can clap. Yeah. And I think to that extent, the credit also goes to the Honorable Prime Minister, because he's been very forthcoming in encouraging, supporting these projects. We had all this talent. People have been talking about Dr. Bha and others. They were there. The talent was there. The will to carry on was there. Also, the focus. Possibly, we didn't have that kind of a political dispensation which was enabling, and that happened in the last 10 years. And since all of us have been taught not to speak without evidence, I don't know how many of you noticed that in the Independence Day address on the August 15, 2025, Prime Minister Modi devoted good 10 minutes talking about biotechnology. Something this is unheard of. You take down go back to the library and go through the speeches of the Prime Minister of the last 70 years. Hardly a science theme is picked up, and the biotechnology, that too, a very complicated and complex, which only those who are related with the subject would know. And he went on to explain what BioE3 means, and then he said कि मैं आह्वान करता हूँ युवाओं से कि आप बायोटेक्नोलॉजी के साथ जुड़ करके अपने भविष्य का निर्माण करें. So in a way, it was also a very conscious attempt on the part of the political leadership to create awareness about all that was happening, so that the stakeholders know what is. And of course, the credit, of course, also goes to THSTI and all the rest of the members of the family. The story of this global visibility started with vaccine. We were the first to come out with the DNA vaccine, and as I always keep reiterating, and I'm never tired of saying that, possibly what is not noticed is the country which was not taken seriously for healthcare practices is now being hailed as a global leader in preventive healthcare. As I often keep saying, even if one falls sick, you wait for 4-5 days to go to Dr. Nikhil or Pramod. पेट दर्द हो जाए, वो कहते हैं पहले 4 दिन देख लीजिए. अगर गड़बड़ हो जाए रातों रात कहीं, तो फिर पिछले जन्म का कर्म था, खत्म हो गया प्रमोद के पास जाने से पहले ही. और कई बार ठीक हो जाए तो माँ का आशीर्वाद. So you have homemade placebos, you have homemade remedies. In a country like this, and we were known like that across the world. Today we are being hailed. We were offering vaccine to 30 countries. And this is the department which takes the credit. Now we have a series of them in the pipeline. So also the first ever antibiotic, which was developed in India, the nephithromycin, and the genome sequencing, which is the project that they've undertaken, the first ever genetic therapy for hemophilia. Only the other day I was talking to a group of medicos. I think that was one of the healthcare summits of the medicos. And most of them, since me and Nikhil are now growing a little ancient. So I said, when we joined in the third year clinics, hemophilia was also sometimes known as Queen's disease, because the first case was reported in one of the cousins of Queen Victoria. And today, the remedy comes from India. See, the 360 turnover. For a disease reported from there, the remedy comes from Oriental land. So that means that we have made a mark, and only 2 days back, the Indian biotechnology economy report has come out with the figure of $195.3 billion bioeconomy, which was just about 10 billion till about 10 years back in 2014. So when I say it's been a miraculous decade of transformation with indigenization, and while the whole of government approach has been followed, biotechnology has been in the front line of registering all these landmarks and milestones. Now, as far as this GARBH-INi is concerned, I dare to agree to an extent with Dr. Vinod Paul. I said I dare agree with him to some extent that the more model has been developed, the findings are yet to come. So, picture abhi baki hai. It's like sitting together and then deciding what kind of movie you're making. So, usme ek hero, ek heroine, ek villain, comedy ka bhi thoda sa rakh lijiye, beech mein tragedy, end mein jod do. So, you created a model, but the outcomes will be weighted with a lot of interest. And to that extent, and all of us are researchers and clinicians, we would be also looking at it with precision. But I must compliment the team for the model itself. Beginning from what I don't know how many of you noticed, the title, GARBH-INi. So G stands for group, A stands for advanced, and I'm sure Dr. Vinod Paul will have an opinion. R stands for research, and BH stands for birth. So very smartly, this small H has been converted into capital H. So that means the team is smart. Normally, the acronym is determined by the first letter. So they have very smartly chosen the H, the smaller letter, the last one, to make it GARB, and then INI. So I'm sure the same smartness will become visible as the team moves forward. And of course, as been said by speaker after speaker, maternal and child health, I think what I would say is vital for nation's energy, for also nation's potential, and also for nation's economy. And all of us know the relevance of maternal transmission of diseases, whether it's the metabolic disease or the other disease. So there's no dearth of findings, no dearth of evidence. But talking from the point of view of the government's flagship priorities, this also gains importance because the children born now will be in their prime in 2047, which is the target year being reiterated by this government again and again. So in a way, when you are taking care of the well-being of the prime of the youth in 2047, you are actually also serving the cause of Viksit Bharat. So you can understand, you are not only confining yourself to a project within the four walls of THSTI, you are now a part of a larger mission of Viksit Bharat, which is being reiterated by Prime Minister time and again. And as far as preterm births are concerned, with multiple etiologies, all of us know that India is a major contributor to the load of preterm births. And therefore, we need to also develop evidence-based strategies which are indigenous, which are for the Indian solutions. And also, as I think it was being mentioned, that we've come out of silos, and this is also whole of science and whole of government and whole of a nation, because you have tied down the IIT Madras, the civil hospital, and a whole lot of these families. And as Rajesh was mentioning, the 1.6 million phenotyped biospecimens, more than 10 lakh images. But what amused me most is that you have been able to rope in all these families, about 12,000 pregnant women. So I'm sure Nikhil was just now telling me the GDM also is integrated with this program. But I'm sure he will bear me out how difficult it is to rope in even a single pregnant woman in a project. Because way back, we undertook under DIPSI, the Diabetes in India Pregnancy. We wanted to sort of gather evidence to show that strictly controlled glycemic levels in the early trimesters could prevent the tendency in the offspring. And it was such a difficult task. First of all, the ethics committee would not let you out. And then Dr. Seshaya was coordinating this project, so we were operating in multiple levels. I was smart enough. So mine was the first paper we got published in JAPI, I think in 2004 or 2005. But what I did was that I also devised an indigenous method. Without going to ethics committee, I would discuss with the couples. So anyone who came forward, I would enroll. So like that, so that with a mutual, so that I was sure that he would not complain or she would not complain. And that way I kept gathering and carried on that process for nearly 2 years. So when I had a couple of women, I finally succeeded. And even now, that paper later on was published by the Lancet and others. But Dr. Seshaya was kind enough to mention that the first such finding came from our project. But we did it this way because it's not easy getting into this, because somebody else other than the families would try to create nuisance for you. So it's not an easy business, but if you've done that, I think we have much to learn from you. And the GARBH-INi 2 and the AI model and the biomarkers, yes, very interesting that you're creating. I was going through the book collection of vaginal samples, the microbiomes, and the dynamic prediction, and are also using the AI tools. And therefore, I think in the end, I would only end by saying that as I began, you are not only performing the task of looking into the pre-term strategies, and I think as Dr. Paul was rightly mentioning, when you come out, maybe it will have implications on other factors. Also, we are now actually also looking into not only pre-term births, but pre-birth situations as well. Even before the pregnancy has occurred, or even if the pregnancy has been conceived. In fact, even in 25 years back, we would take pleasure in saying, at least in the parlance of diabetes that I and Nikhil did, that instead of matching your horoscopes, match your case histories, because we have enough evidence, because if both the partners have more than 50% of, are type 2 diabetes, more than 50% of tendency in the offspring happening in the later age or maybe in the early adult age. And if the siblings have, then more than 80%. So the concept is not new, only maybe the methodology is being developed. And we are also already into primordial interventions in pregnancy, sometimes before the pregnancy has happened. And in fact, the treatment of many metabolic disorders like diabetes has to start before it happens and before even the child is conceived. So I think this will also give us a very vital lead. And I would like to conclude by what I started. I said, when you are not only performing GARBH-INi, you are actually making yourself a part of a larger responsibility of nation building and building of Viksit Bharat 2047. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. We sincerely value your guidance and the contagious energy you radiate, which lights our path and inspires belief in the achievements that lie ahead. May I now request Secretary DBT, Dr. Rajesh S. Gokhale, to present a humble expression of our gratitude to Honorable Minister, sir. May I also request Secretary DBT, Dr. Rajesh S. Gokhale, to present a gesture of our thanks to Dr. V.K. Paul, Member Niti Aayog. Since he was able to join only late, we also have that potted plant waiting for him because we had to present it as a welcome token to him. So with this, I now invite Dr. Rajesh Ghangal, Program Officer for the Women and Child Health Program, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Yes. It is my privilege to propose the vote of thanks on this momentous occasion, marking the dissemination of the learnings and outcomes of the GARBH-INi and DBT India initiative. At the outset, I express our heartfelt thanks to Honorable Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh Ji for gracing this event and for his visionary leadership and constant encouragement towards advancing science-driven solutions for the public health. Our gratitude to Dr. V.K. Paul, Member Niti Aayog, for being part of this important occasion. We place on records our deep appreciation to Secretary DBT, Dr. Rajesh S. Gokhale, for his unwavering support, invaluable guidance, and exemplary leadership. We would also like to acknowledge with the gratitude the former secretaries of the department, Dr. M.K. Bhan, Dr. K. Vijay Raghavan, Dr. Renu Swaru, for their sustained support and stewardship of the GARBH-INi program. We extend our sincere thanks to Dr. Sinha, former advisor DBT, and Dr. Anamika Gambhir, advisor DBT, for envisioning and nurturing this initiative. I would like to express my sincere appreciation to former senior officials of the Finance and Administrative Division of the department, as well as the present Additional Secretary and Financial Advisor, Madam Yatindra Prasad, and Joint Secretary, Madam Ekta Vishnoi, for their support and encouragement. We also acknowledge
with gratitude the contributions of the expert members associated with the project since its inception, whose guidance has been invaluable throughout the course of GARBH-INi program. I extend my sincere thanks to Dr. Neha, scientist DDBT, formerly associated with the Women and Child Health Division, for her constant support during the transition of the responsibilities within the division. My sincere appreciation to the GARBH-INi team, including the support staff and the nurse involved in the study to undertake this important research. I would be failing in my duty if I do not acknowledge and express my sincere thanks to the study participants and their families for their invaluable contribution to this study. We extend our sincere appreciation to the industry partners for their collaborations and for taking forward these innovations towards real-world applications as reflected in today's exchange of letter of intents. Thanks to Dr. Vamsi, scientist staff DBT, and the communication team at DBT for creating a wonderful video and for the dissemination of this program activities. My sincere thanks to Dr. Karthikeyan, Executive Director, THSTI, for providing logistic support for this event. And special thanks to Mr. Santo and Mr. Rajkumar and his administration team from BRIC THSTI, who navigated multiple iterations even in the morning with efficiency and good spirit. I sincerely thank all the members of the audience offline as well as online for sparing time and marking your presence on this important occasion. Finally, I would like to acknowledge the organizing team from DBT and BRIC THSTI for this dedicated efforts in successful conducting of the event. I request the GARBH-INi team to please assemble for a group photograph outside. We'll request everyone to be seated as we'll be back shortly after the photograph for the scientific session being followed. Please. For the group photograph, please. The group.
So where you want to have? So I think please the GARBH-INi group should move out actually quickly so that Honorable Minister can join for a picture. Yeah.
We can have. We can have. Yes.
हम यहीं पे We request everyone to please come here quickly because sir is a little short on time.
Then maybe down. Yeah. Session. अभी साइंटिफिक सेशन हो उसके बाद में है ना हाँ आप आ जाओ शायद अभी अगर हम आते होंगे तो आ जाएंगे नहीं तो लग के
होगा होगा ठीक लेकिन because she was 15.
Hello, as it is already a lunchtime, we'll break for lunch now. The lunch has been arranged in the lobby area, please.